Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with an update video today. We'll have a bit of a chat about what's going on around the country. We'll go into the press and take a look at what is happening there. And then at the end of the video, we'll go into the comment section and check out what is happening there today as well. Now, I'm breaking with tradition today. I would normally do a more in-depth news review on Thursday, but I didn't have time to put the news together. Hence the shorter video. Plenty of news around today, plenty of good news stories around, and one of the main news stories that has broken today is that Spain's job market seems to be recovering. As we can see here, employment has grown by 465,900 people from April to June, the second biggest increase in history, and unemployment in Spain is now at 15.26%. And another piece of news I saw today is that 9 out of every 10 jobs that were destroyed during the pandemic in 2020 have been recovered. So good news for the Spanish job market, with more than 465,000 people finding jobs. Now, the Health Ministry yesterday announced that COVID certificates will not be mandatory to enter the interior parts of bars, restaurants, pubs and nightclubs around the country. As we know, in some parts of the country, Galicia and the Canary Islands, places where there is a high incidence rate of COVID-19, it is necessary to show a COVID certificate before you enter a restaurant. But other autonomous communities around the country were not in favour of the idea. For example, Valencia, Madrid, Catalonia. The Valencian Premier, Ximo Puig, said that the idea is off the table because not enough people are vaccinated yet. However, he hasn't ruled out the idea, and things may change when a larger percentage of the population is vaccinated. Now, when it comes to the health crisis in Spain, there is also good news today. And as we can see from this article in the English version of El País, coronavirus transmission in Spain falls for the first time in more than a month. But hospitals continue to face mounting pressure, and the number of weekly COVID deaths has nearly tripled in the past week. And if we have a look at a summary of the health situation in Spain, we can indeed see that the incidence rate for the last 14 days is now below 700. But there are still 9,672 people in hospital with COVID around the country, and there are 1,593 COVID patients still in ICU. And if we have a look at Spain's main COVID hotspot, Catalonia, we can see that the incidence rate there has also fallen to 1,034. And when it comes to the vaccination campaign, we can see that 55.68% of the population have completed vaccination, and just under 66% have received at least one dose. Now, Prime Minister Sanchez is planning to speak today. He's going to address the nation, and he's going to give an overview on the current political situation in Spain. He's going to talk, of course, about the pandemic situation. He's going to talk about the economic recovery, what Spain can expect in 2021 and 2022. He's going to speak about Catalonia and what's going on there, and he'll also speak about the vaccination plan and whether or not the country is on target to get 70% of the population vaccinated by the end of August. And when it comes to the economy, I imagine that the Prime Minister is going to be very upbeat, because as we can see here, the Spanish economy is forecast to bounce back to pre-pandemic levels in 2022. Spain will also experience the biggest economic expansion of advanced nations next year, but it comes on the back of a record decline of nearly 11% in 2020 due to the coronavirus pandemic. So Mr. Sanchez, no doubt looking to convince Spaniards that things are looking good for the country moving forward. And the final piece of news we'll look at today relates to the state-rescued airline company Plus Ultra. As we know, a judge last week ordered the government to suspend the bailout package for that company. And apparently today, Plus Ultra is going to present documentation that justifies its rescue and will appeal the ruling handed down by the judge. So the Plus Ultra scandal continues to make headlines, continues to embarrass the government, and it's becoming a real soap opera. Now let's leave the news there and go into the comment section and check out what is happening there. One here from Dalek Sec. Hi Stuart, love your videos, always informative. I am a UK citizen. I am flying from Barcelona to Jerez. I have booked the tickets and have been asked to upload documentation. I have uploaded proof of vaccination. After several searches, I am finding it hard to get any information on what documentation you need to travel within Spain by air. Do you know where I can find this information? Yeah, Dalexec, thanks for the comment. As far as I know, you don't need any documentation to travel internally in Spain. You can catch a plane without needing a COVID certificate or a negative PCR test. There might be some requirements if you want to travel to the Balearic Islands or the Canary Islands, or at least I think they were asking for negative PCR tests. Not sure if that is still the case. But to fly internally on mainland Spain, I think you're only going to need your ticket and some form of identification. But as always, I could be wrong. Maybe my information is not up to date, and if it isn't, please let me know in the comment section below. One here from Happy Rocker: didn't realise that vaccination rollout was a competition. Bojo is still popular in the UK. Rather a biased anti-UK broadcast and advertisement for Spanish holidays. Presentation is boring and lifeless. Spain desperate for UK tourist money and will do anything to get their hands on it. Not everyone in the UK likes to bake in the hot sun. Sunbathing is boring and causes skin cancer. You Happy Rocker, thanks for the comment and thanks for the criticism. Can I make a small suggestion? Maybe change your name to Unhappy Rocker or Miserable Rocker, because you seem like a pretty unhappy person and you're bringing me down. And I'll just pick you up on one thing: Spain is not desperate for UK tourist money. It's not on its hands and knees begging for people from the UK to come to the country. Of course they would like people from the UK to come to Spain and spend their tourist dollars, but if a lot of people have a similar attitude to you, probably better to stay at home, mate. One here from Rosemary: we enjoy your daily updates. We are from Canada and due to the cold we usually go to Mexico in the winter, but this year with low vaccination rates, mostly I think due to low availability in the Mexican area where we go to, and COVID cases rising in many areas, we're thinking of not going this year. Spain is appealing to us. I am more or less fluent in Spanish, both Castilian and Latin American. I visited both northern and southern Spain and loved it. Is there an area in Spain that has somewhat warmer and sunnier winter from December through March? We don't want plus 20 degrees, but we don't want 10 below either. Any suggestions what areas of Spain would be good for a winter getaway for Canadian snowbirds? Yeah, Rosemary, thanks for the comment. There are a few places on mainland Spain that would suit your requirements, for example Malaga or the Alicante region. I think you can be guaranteed good weather for most of the time frame that you mentioned there. There might be a few weeks during that period that it gets a bit cold, but nothing of course like the cold weather that you guys are used to there in Canada. But we'll open the comment up to the community, get some suggestions. What are the best places on mainland Spain to spend the winter? One here from Trisha: great work, Stuart. I never cease to be amazed at the use of your platform by conspiracy theorists. I'm not understanding their vitriol and why it is aimed at your fan base. Still, they keep me amused. Yeah, Tricia, thanks for the comment, and they keep me amused too. And to be honest, I have no idea why so many people with conspiracy theories flock to this channel. I think it's got something to do with the topics that we talk about here when we talk about vaccinations, when we talk about COVID-19, when we talk about things like that. People flock to the channel because they all have their opinions on the topic, they're all experts on the topics, and they want to share that knowledge with the rest of us. And they're just hoping that one day we'll finally see the light. One here from Clyde: Ola Stuart, seems English speakers attempting to pronounce Spanish words don't pay enough attention to enunciating the Spanish vowels. I've found having an experienced Spanish speaker, better yet an actual native speaker, listen to my reading Spanish helps to point out how to correctly pronounce Spanish vowel sounds. While I still have an accent, I have become more intelligible. Keep up the good work. Yeah, Clyde, thanks for the comment. Obviously referring to something that we spoke about yesterday, whether or not it is necessary to have a good accent when you speak a foreign language. I said that it's not the most important thing in my opinion. The most important thing for me is to make yourself understood. Even if you have a strong accent and people can understand you, it's okay. But there are some words that you do need to pronounce well, especially when it comes to stress and intonation. For example, there's a place down there in Murcia which is called Costa Calida, but a lot of people pronounce it Costa Calida. So important in my opinion to work on stress and intonation when you're learning Spanish. And finally, one from Peter: the UK uses percentage vaccinated of the adult population, whereas the rest of the world uses the total population. That is why you hear higher numbers on UK TV news. Yeah, Peter, thanks for the comment and thanks for pointing that out. And hopefully it will lay to rest the debate that we have been having in the comment section over the last couple of days about which country has the biggest percentage of population vaccinated, Spain or the UK. As we saw yesterday on the ourworldindata.org website, Canada is currently in position number 1, Spain is in position number 2, and the UK is in position number 3. However, quite a lot of people don't quite seem to get that nuance, so thanks for pointing it out. On that note, I'll wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the situation out as you normally do. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked, a thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.